Hey, it's me, Art of Singularity, and welcome to my new video. In this video, I'm going to be basically explaining how I draw hair. It's not exactly a conclusive tutorial, but it'll be something, right? So, basically, here we go. So, when I'm drawing here, there's a lot of things I think about, but mainly it's where's the center of the head, where's the root of all the, where's the root, where the hair, all of it is stemming from. So we can mark this as the black dot. All the hair branches out from it, and it tries to, basically, it grows out from it. So, it just follows this trend of being repelled in all directions. So, yes. So, for instance, this here. Oh, and also, the shapes that I use for hair is either like triangles, so it's these shapes, or it can be squares if we're doing like dreads or locks or something like that. We can modify this triangle shape into whatever shape we want. So like, for instance, I can make it curly, or I can make it really curly. It's just whatever fits your preference. Whenever I'm drawing hair, I make sure to vary the sizes. So like, I'm not just going to do this, right? That's boring. I'll do this, right? So this is an example of me varying the lengths. I'm also, right, if we have one shape like this, I'm also gonna cut into it. So I'm just going to, well, I say cut into it, but this is essentially one shape. I'm counting this as one shape. So I take this triangle shape and I add something to it. Without this overlapping part, because I'm using pen, but I make it into something like this. It makes it more interesting. So with all that, take into account, let me start to draw some hair. Let's start with this character. This character is supposed to have some curly hair, at least something like that. So I'm taking into account where the middle of the hair is, about here, and it wraps around the sphere, which is the head. So it's going to be coming around here. The hair is curly though, so at the tips, it's going to start to do this like squiggly thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna, vary it, kind of like fire. I'm like pretending like curly hair is kind of fiery. So, yeah. Also, for most of my characters, there is a specific like trend that their hair does. So, every time I draw this specific character, I'm going to always have like these two antenna things, or whatever these two horns are. Not horns, but hair, because this is hair. This guy doesn't have any horns. He's always gonna have that. And I'm just gonna make it come out, come around. So you see how I've made this boring triangle into a more interesting shape. And now when it's coming into actually drew, so I outlined the hair as you saw how I just did it. I didn't go in like in each individual stroke. I outlined where the important parts are gonna be, like the outline. And then now, when it's time for like the actual detailing part, I'm going to just come in here and just add some, I'm just gonna be connecting them to the middle point. This is why this is important. Everything is coming from the middle. So, yeah, always keep in mind where the middle of your hair is going to be. Very simple, very simple. Shouldn't be too difficult. I'm sure you guys can come up with something interesting, right? All right, so here's this hair. This isn't the best hair I've drawn for this character. I'm pretty sure this is like actually some of the worst hair. In fact, I'm not even gonna shade it right now. Let's go on to the next hair, hair actually. This character has more. Oh, also, right, instead of doing this, if you want to do more realistic hair, you can do it in these, how to say, this can work better. So we're not actually, it may look like I'm outlining the hair, but I'm not. What I'm doing, so like, let's assume that there's eyes here. Right, let's draw some eyes here. So, now that we have eyes, what I'm doing is I'm just giving the impression that there's a lot of detail going on, when there's not really that much detail. So, always remember where the middle is, so it's kind of like hair. I didn't really plan this out, I just kind of a detour from the actual plan of the video. But I think it's good to keep in mind. Oh, let's say that was his hair. Let's bring in the face, the eyelids, the eyebrows. Okay, cool. So it's not necessary to bring in all these shapes. If you want to go for a more realistic vibe, you can do something like this, and then shading it in the direction that that this is going. So just follow the hair, basically. The fact that the hair, so it's kind of like we're using the airbrush, or not really, but we're just filling in the general area of where the hair should be, and then we're going to come back over it again with the final detailing, basically. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but hopefully you'll see what I'm doing in a second. Of course, I'm not a professional at this style. This isn't actually my normal style. So now that we have that, we're just going to come back in with some extra lines just on the outside. I'm not actually detailing the inside yet. These lines are going to add some amount of form. We're kind of outlining it, but we're not finishing the shape. So instead of doing something like this, we're just doing, well, I guess we're doing something like that. We're not actually filling in the shape. If that made any sense. I don't really know how to do this. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I found that a style kind of like this is fun. It's fun to not have such a rigid way to draw hair. You can make your hair anything, whatever shape you want. All right, moving back onto this character. So instead of doing the part where the hair is, the center of the hair in the middle of the head, it actually is over here. So it's about here, and then I'm just gonna bring her hair over. It's gonna be swooping almost around her hair. I don't know. Well, you're saying. So this character's hair, I'm doing more of an outlining job because her hair is more straight. It's still kind of curly, but not exactly as curly. This is the sharp shapes that I was showing before. We're just gonna be connecting the back. It's going to be going over the air, so the air isn't actually that important here. I want to be able to see some of her hair, so I'm just going to break out a shape here. And I'll be connecting this side of the head. Some curls are going to be coming up, and all the curls are going to be wrapping up around here. This is just my personal style. This character also has these things. I think it's kind of a coincidence that I picked two characters with the same type of hair. The same way that their hair works, but I did. So that's interesting. Covering the ear for this one because their hair is long. The shorter the hair is, the less likely it is to actually cover the ear. Okay, there. So we have her hair done, right? I've done it in basically these shapes. And now I'm just gonna shade it in. I usually do my shading before I do my detailing. Not that there's really any detailing that I really do per se. I don't really incorporate that much detailing in my hair, especially on my traditional art. Digital art is a different beast because I actually have the luxury of adding some graphic and cool shapes that I like. But if it's just for traditional, this suffices for me. Just a basic shading technique. Following the hair's direction, of course, all stemming from here. I'm gonna come back over here and make sure the outlines of the hair is pretty well defined. I could try and cut out some shapes here, but it's quite dark, so you can't really tell. The right side of her hair is actually white, so I don't need to really shade too deeply. I'm just gonna do some shading where I think shadows will be. I'm not a master on hair shading, so it'll be something like that. I could have done better, of course, but hey, I'm still learning. And then for this character, bring out her chin first. All right, so now that I finished this character, hold on, sorry, it was bugging me that her collarbone and neck wasn't shaded. I don't know why, actually. Let me forget it. All right, over here. So this character's leaning back. So also, hair is obviously followed by gravity, right? So if a character is leaning backwards, the hair is going to be moving backwards. Unless the hair is like shorter and, you know, more firm, it will, the longer or heavier your character's hair is, think about it in a weight, the more it's actually going to flow with the gravity. The shorter it is, the less it will flow. So, something to keep in mind. For this character, first of all, it's also a good idea to keep in mind where the hairline is, just in case, like, there are some interesting things happening with the character. I'm going to have this character's hair flowing backwards. So, rather than instead of coming from the center, it'll be coming from the hairline itself. Because the character is like leaning backwards and the hair is coming back. You can't really see this one, but you know, look at how I'm just drawing these like circles just to add. I mean, not circles, these are triangles. These sharp shapes. And I'm making sure they're coming from the hairline, right? So everything is gonna connect back to the hairline. I'm gonna add some hair coming to the front just for fun. Just for fun, right? Obviously it's art, you don't have to take it so seriously. Do whatever looks the best, whatever you think would be the most fun. Of course, unless you're doing like some realism stuff, but it's art. It doesn't have to be serious. You can break all the rules once you know them. Okay, so I guess her hair is basically done. I'm just gonna shade in the direction that her hair is going. I'll try and add some sort of highlight in her hair. The highlights usually comes like, so if there was a light source coming from the top right, coming into his hair, it formed like a band, kind of like, so like, let me just illustrate the way that the band would be. It follows the curvature of the head, and it's like that. So this area in the middle would be highlighted, and everything else would be dark. That's kind of, yeah, hair highlights forms in bands just because of the structure and the way that hair is drawn. So, yeah. So yeah, there. Look. I mean, that's kind of a highlight, right? I mean, it's poor. It's a poor highlight. I probably should have tried better, but hey. I'll try better next time. Okay, there we go. Oh, whoops, I forgot that this character's hair was not supposed to be colored in. Whoopsie. Alright, well that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching my video. I mean, that's it for the hair part. I'm just gonna be shading the rest of the characters. If you guys want to watch that, it shouldn't take that long. I should be done very soon. But how was your guys' day? Did you have a good time today? Go to the park, touch some grass. Did you do anything fun? I hope you did. Is drawing fun to you? I hope so. Hope it's not stressful. If you stress over your drawings, then your drawings will turn out worse, you know that? The more free-spirited you are when it comes to drawing, the better your drawings will turn out. At least that's how it is with me. That's how it seems to be for me. So, yeah, so don't stress over your drawings. If you can't get hair down properly right now, it's fine. Like, I don't have hair down properly. Do you see me stressing? No. Is it because maybe I'm just too lax with my work? Maybe. Am I happier than a lot of people who are stressing? Probably yes. So, do you want to be stressed or do you want to just be happy? I hope you say you want to be happy. I think everyone should want to be happy. So yeah. I'm gonna break into this highlight zone. To the twilight zone, except that's the highlight zone. How does my brain look like that? Why does that amuse me? I wish I could be more deep. I wish I could have more intricacies to myself, but no. I'm amused by calling the highlight zone the twilight zone because it rhymes. I don't like how high this guy's hair is. It's not supposed to be that high. It's supposed to come down more to his face. Alrighty, let me just bring some shading to his face right here. Shade under the eyebrows. Right there. Shade right there. Shade under his nose. Right here. Shade the lips. Okay. Shade underneath the lips. Shading is quite peaceful to me. Is it to you? Do you guys like shading? Maybe it's because maybe like I said, maybe it's because I'm just not thinking a lot, but the fact that I'm not thinking is, I don't know, it's kind of satisfying too, just to see the shapes come together. Especially in my shading style, the way that I just like, go up and down, kind of like a printer or something like that. I find it satisfying. There you go. We have a Luigi down here. Look at him. Ain't that cool? Or is it boring? No, I'm joking. Of course it's not. It's Luigi. Alrighty. So there's him. I'm gonna shade her. Put an X in her eye. Why? It's interesting. And then for this last character, I'm just gonna be bringing in some shading on her shoulder, on her chest. I actually don't really care about doing the entire chest shading, so I won't. I'm basically stopping the chest right here. I'm bringing in some folds for the armpit, or where the armpit would be, and then something like that. Okay, I think that's good. Well, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed it, is what I'm saying. None of these characters have a blue outline. Well, I'm not outlining today. Thank you very much, and goodbye.